Hello, good afternoon, good evening, and a very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Meenakshi Oberoi, and today we are talking about take control of your day with AI as a part of Tech Talk Tuesday for Teachers. So, welcome, everybody. And I'll allow Dohita to first come and say hello to you so that we can all then proceed further.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the session of today. Please do note that the session is going to be interactive, and definitely it's you who is going to make it more interactive. We have a chat window. Please feel free to share your thoughts or any queries which are during the session in the chat window. Would be happy to address the same, and definitely do introduce yourselves as well. So when we talk about Tech Talk Tuesdays, these happen every month, every Tuesday, 5 to 6 p.m., and all the topics are aligned with NEP goals of CBSE. So the certificates are awarded, but for that we have a very simple quiz that you can take, and for the certificate it's a very nominal amount of rupees 200 that needs to be paid. We'll be sharing the details in the chat window surely for the same as well. So looking forward for all of your active participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dohita. And yes, a warm welcome once again. Well, we know, as educators, your day is always packed from lesson planning to classroom management to emails, meetings, supporting every learner's unique journey. It's a lot. And while your dedication is unmatched, today, just outside of the, Teacher's Day, at first, I must wishing you all, each and every one of you, a very, very, very happy Teacher's Day. Honestly, here I would want to pause to salute your dedication because I think in today's day and generation, and if you're doing something that is as amazing as what you do in your classrooms, I think it's all credit to each and every one of you. So today we are here to explore how we can make your superpower to be a superpower using AI. So AI can be your partner, not the replacement, just the partner in making each day more manageable, more meaningful, more impactful. So take control of the day with AI is not just about talking about technology. It is about understanding that you have a thinking buddy, you have somebody with you who could be helping you out with the smart tools to handle your routines so that you can focus on what matters most, and that is inspiring minds, nurturing growth, and probably creating learning experiences that last a lifetime. And for that, you need time, you need your own space to think and do so much. So together we'll walk through a day in the life of an educator today, which will be powered by AI. From morning prep to student support to admin tasks to professional reflection, we've tried packing in everything in your day. But of course, our chat window is always open to for you to ask that, what about some ways to save time here? Or, reduce my stress when we are doing this? Or probably amplify my impact? How do I do all of that? So, towards all of that, like Duta said, keep this absolutely interactive. Please share your thoughts and queries in the chat window, and we'll make sure that we answer almost all of them. If not, we park it for next time. Yeah. So let's dive in and explore and reimagine what's possible when you take control of your day using AI and keeping AI as your side buddy, your side partner, or just by your side. Yeah. But we always begin a session with a question. So here's a very simple question for you. The question is, what's your biggest daily challenge? Go ahead, introduce yourself, your name, school name, and city, and share with us your biggest daily challenge. What is it that you face every day? And you really feel as if somebody could help me with this at least. So go ahead, fill our chat window with your response. We would love to hear what is it that we can help you most with. So our question remains, what's your biggest daily challenge? I'll let you Go ahead and share with us your daily challenge. I'm just going to reload my screen once again. Just give me a minute, and it'll be back before you know it. Here you go. It's back. Let me check. Okay. We'll take a minute. I'm still waiting for your responses to come in. I know you're typing, so we'll give you some time to type and share with us your biggest challenge. Oh, they've started rolling in. Duita, go ahead, please unpack them for us. There you go. Mamata Nath ma'am says making class interactive. Oh, yes, that one I will definitely address. Nidhi ma'am says maintaining interest of students as they have very less attention span. You bet. With technology coming in, I think with technology all around them, everything is so fast moving that the classroom activities are difficult to keep pace with. But you know what? We will take this problem to Copilot to ask what to do. But all I can tell you is there are some places where it's you and your personality and your demeanor and the way you conduct and carry yourself in the class is what will matter most. However, we'll ask. Good question, Nidhi ma'am. Thank you. Shelly ma'am says the biggest challenge is to keep students engaged in the class. Wow, that really seems to be a challenge. Wow. Okay. Pallavi ma'am says, my daily challenge is to make my plans engaging, interesting, interactive. I'm hearing a lot of that today. That's actually interesting. No problem. We are going to go there and understand what the problems are and how to resolve them. Thank you for sharing your biggest challenges and keep sharing them. But it's very clear that you all are juggling with many things. And one thing is common that you want students to be more engaged, more immersed. So whether it's a lesson plan or supporting students in their learning, your responses show that how complex and demanding your role truly is today. So some of the most common challenges we will be tackling will be not just student engagement or differentiated instructions, but also probably time management and administrative overload. Now, these are exactly the areas where AI can step in, not replace you, but just support you. Today's session is designed to show you how AI can help taking control of these challenges and probably freeing you up some time for what matters most. So let's walk through a day in the life of an educator to further understand this. Keep your responses coming in. I'm absolutely loving the energy in my chat window. Here's a very strong, statement for you. This statement says that let AI handle the routine so you can focus on the remarkable. This code actually captures a sense of how AI can transform our lives as educators. It's about freeing up my energy for what matters truly. And the remarkable will include everything: building relationships with students, designing meaningful learning experiences, reflecting on my teaching practices, and also finding out innovative, pedagogies to teach with. So AI can enable educators to be more present, to be more creative, and to be more intentional, if I may put it like that. Yeah. And the best part is that, this absolutely aligns with the NEP 2020's vision of student centered education. And for, a lot of more things are like competency based learning or experiential learning, because you will see today that we are talking about all of these put together. And today, for us to be more present, creative, and intentional, I'm choosing Copilot as our tool. Why Copilot? I think Copilot can assist you with many things in one place itself, not just text generation, data analysis, creative content, but also coding and development. So we'll go to the first three parts. And what we will do is we will look at how Copilot can offer us AI powered web chat using the latest AI models. We'll also look at the enterprise data protection because it's very important that you're aware of what do you mean by data protection and why is it important for you. And especially, enterprise data protection actually gives you the corporate level or the enterprise level security. So that's very important. It helps you gain confidence in sharing your data. Citations for sources it's using, because if you like something you should be able to see where to go to know more about it. And of course consolidation of sources from across the web to a single summarizing window. Yeah. So with this in mind, we are going to go ahead and see how Microsoft Copilot can help you in your daily work. There is a reflection document as well, but I'm not sharing that with you now. But it's really important that you know that when we do these, in-person workshops, at that time, we normally share with you a kind of a document which helps you reflect on the go. So today, as I unpack all of these with you, I will request you to keep your thoughts on about, how is it that you're going to connect or relate this into your classroom. It should be a part of our program today, and I invite you to do that, to be able to see how AI was able to deal with a specific challenge. You can either share in the chat or jot down your own ideas. How this session is about making AI work for you and not AI making you work. And remember, you don't need to be a tech expert to use AI effectively. It's about starting small, building confidence, and you already have the expertise because you are the subject matter expert, you are the pedagogy expert. So AI is only here to help you amplify that. Yeah. Now, as we do so, you will see that we will go through multiple pieces which will help you bind together your day as an educator. So, let's begin your day. Let's say you start with the morning prep, right? What do you do? What is the first thing that you do? Well, the first thing that you do is you plan your day. Now, how do I plan my day with AI? I have so many things that I do, right? Early in the morning, when I go, I have to mark attendance. I have to plan what piece, rather, I would say this is even before meeting your students. You arrive, and as you arrive, the first thing that you want to do is you want to take a look at the piece of your lesson plan that you're going to teach today. Probably also look at some of the differentiated activities of for mixed ability groups and create a kind of a to-do or a schedule list using AI assistant. How would you do that? The first thing in the morning itself is that if I have to teach today to my students, let's say about different types of rocks, yeah, um, I would have planned a day before because I know teachers always do. But today, I also want to give them, I feel like I should have added a reading piece or, a kind of a visual for them. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Copilot straight up in the morning. Let me just take you to Copilot to do the pieces that I'm talking about. Here it. Yeah. Let me just allow it to load. Now, because this is a school account, why I said was with Copilot with my school account is number one, this sign tells me this shield, green shield on top with a tick sign tells me that this is enterprise data protection, which means even if I'm giving my it's not being worked upon and it's absolutely secure. This will not be shared outside of my organization. So it's very important that you log in with your school account in Copilot. You may use your personal account if you don't have a school account, but the preferred one would be the school account. Yeah. Now, what you're looking at is this is the interface that Copilot has. Can you see it's already working? It says list the key points from my own PPT that I'm presenting to you today. It's already using that and it can help me understand the main points. It's so simple. Sometimes I just need a very quick reminder of, okay, I made this PowerPoint, I think about last week. Very quickly, I need to know what were the key points that I need to deliver today. Yeah, that's like a refresher. Very good. Let me just go with this. Now, what this is doing is it'll help me list the key points, draft some quotes, and probably some uh, questions. Now, this is where engagement comes in. If I don't have questions for you and if I don't ask you questions from time to time, then I'm only giving you a lecture. Yeah. Questions or inquiry questions. Let's say some quotes about 5 inquiry questions. for audience, for educators or audience, as it should know that these are my audience. All right. And give me a closing note. Yeah. So, what this does is it helps you make your talk stronger. I need to make my uh, delivery, oops, engaging and interactive. I'm trying to take every element that you tried giving me over there. Yeah. And also remember the audience is across grades from K-12. Let's see what it does. I've just given it my PowerPoint. I saw the first prompt and I picked it up and I gave it. Now, while I'm coming for this session, I could have done this beforehand and it would have actually, look, AI as a partner, not a replacement. AI in the life of an educator, it's giving me very quickly, these are the points that you have to go over. Now, I will plan that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, approximately 6 features, which means I cannot spend more than 10 minutes on each of these features. I should be moving very quickly. That helps me prepare mentally. So what I'm trying to do over here is, probably if you have a chapter, let's say you have a PDF format of that chapter, or you have certain content, just put it over here. Ask it to help me. Okay, what should be my pedagogical shift? I quite like that, from content delivery to designing learning experiences. Microsoft Copilot as a versatile tool, and ethical use of AI. That is something that I emphasize on every time. Fantastic. It's a subtle reminder for me. So these are my five points to keep in mind. Now over here, it's given me inspirational quotes. Probably I could begin with one, and it's also given me questions. So what part of the day feels most overwhelming? Look, I ask you a question. Here are 5 more options for what I could have asked you. So possibly from time to time, I should pause to ask you these questions. That will be very helpful. And here's a strong closing note. Every 40-minute period should mentally be divided in such a way that you make a strong start. You have hooks every few minutes. I would say about 7 to 8 minutes is what I always used to say, because beyond that, the students, even if they are just solving problems, let's say it's a math class, and I'm telling you this from experience. In a math class, we used to tell them that you have to do exercise 5.1, and there used to be like some 20 or 25 sums, and I'd say, do whatever you can. Let's do, three questions of subparts of the questions, 5 questions in the class. The rest you can do as homework, which means you're starting them off here and then they can finish. That is typically how, it used to work. I've already introduced, now students are practicing. Here again, students may lose interest in between. Yeah. And they might say that, they might stop, pause for different reasons. Some lose interest, some find it difficult, some might get chatty because it's become mundane and quiet. Now, here again, I must say that, all right, let's say now this is done. I'm going to pick up a new chat. Yeah. My students are practicing concepts on their own, um, using textbook. Give me ideas to make it interactive. Now, I already know that my class is going to be, today just about, and I'll be around, helping them, seeing who's stuck, who's not. So, how will I help my students? Oops, I should have said math class. Anywho, this is pretty generic. First thing is, I must have a good hook. For example, a mini quest. This is really nice. Mini quest, and they are on a mission. Now, let's say I'm doing something like addition. Okay. Um, Assume this is a maths class where students of grade 2 are practicing addition with carry forward. Yeah, something as simple as that. Make this engaging and interactive. Now, what I do is, I would normally, I would use a timer every 7 to 10 minutes to pause, um, pose a question, or play a quick riddle, or just a mental break. This is what I would do. So I'm not letting it think on its own. I'm giving it my personality by telling it that this is what I would like to do. Yeah. Now, what this will do is this would say a number stretch. Hey, that's a good idea, actually. While you're doing practicing addition, you will practice addition, and alongside, you can, ask them to count. It's going to be very boring for grade two students to be counting from 1 to 100. But every time they reach number nine, they have to shout carry. So, you know what this is doing? Making them mindful, making them aware, making them present to your piece. Now as they are doing, encourage them to do Acha, this is okay. Now I'm a number. If you add now, I put a timer in my mind or on my watch or on my phone, whichever way you want it. We pause somewhere, and if you give them a riddle, give them a relay, addition relay, give them a math pop quiz. I would even give them just a mental break using Microsoft Reflect. Yeah. Or we would say, do a treasure hunt, because that really disturbs. This is something I absolutely love. Brain yoga, quick stretches, reach for the tens, bend for the ones. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, what I'm trying to tell you here is to simply answer your question in a very simple way. What we also can do is that give them a pause or a break and give certain touch points, certain interactive points in between. Now, let's say, I want flashcards for it. You can always create your TLMs here. You can always say, okay, make me flashcards for carry forward. Please use this. Do not sit down to create your own content. You can always say, today I think I might need flashcards for a set of students who have not really understood this or who are not able to practice this. Or possibly even as a mental break, what I'll do? I'll possibly drop these flashcards on table of those students which I know are getting a little distracted. So I'll engage them in, I'll quickly give them solve and then carry forward. What this does is also students who are probably, moving really fast. We ask them to pause and do this. Or students who are finding it very difficult, we give them certain flashcards to really slow down and, possibly use these as your interactive pieces. Let me open this to show you what kind of, even I don't know what they've created, but you see very quickly these flashcards have been created. Now, if you want this as a PowerPoint, you want to add your school logo or other things, you could always do. But otherwise, I would always carry these slips in my class. Back in the day as well, I used to do this, and I used to carry these slips in my hand and I used to drop it on different tables. It just creates that kind of an excitement in the class to quickly finish the first two or first three and then pick this up. What I also used to do is I used to have these, I still remember, I used to have these ice cream sticks in my class. They were always on my table. Those will always carry a simple problem to solve. It could be addition, it could be subtraction. So if you finish your work very quickly, come, you've earned your stick. Take your stick. So once you solve this stick, you can take another one. There's a lot of movement in the class, but you know what? I think with students, that's also important because they sit in the same table and chair the whole day. So it just becomes all the more, interesting to have things like this in the class. Anyway, I always deviate from AI. Now, first thing is that it, allowed me to list the points. Two is it helps me prepare a review of my lesson. Hey, that's nice. Actually, how did I do in my presentation today? Now, if you look at it, it also gives me multiple other ideas of what all can I do and help me improve my writing in this file. Sometimes I have a student's work and I really don't know how to give a feedback on that. Without giving any name or anything, you can simply just upload your document here and it'll help you make it better. Yeah. You want to write an email, probably some funny out of office emails or a very formal one. You could do anything that you want. Let's say you're going on a leave and you still want to leave some work for students. I used to so do this that, I used to have certain uh, concepts collated. Just the way I showed you the flashcards, I would have multiple TLMs with me so that, I could always leave it for my students. I used to have trays in my class where I would leave them and they knew that we are supposed to work on that. How's this grammar? Insert this content here. So you insert your content, and especially, sometimes sending out formal emails, it's always a good idea to help you improve your writing or draft that email, and then you put in your bit. So these are some of the strong ways to start your day with AI. Uh, on the go, if you find anything that you feel, I want to know more about this, please drop it in our chat window. I would love to answer. Okay, let's carry on with this one and let's see what's next. So we've not just done our lesson planning, but also probably taken a mixed ability group and also done a to-do list. Possibly, I could also ask Copilot to say, "Here's my timetable today." I don't have a timetable right now, but simply just go to Copilot, say, "Here's the timetable for the day. I don't think I have time to breathe. Help me juggle my day better." You know, and I need to also, beyond this, I also need to include checking of notebooks, this, and this. It'll actually help you streamline your day. So just try this. It's really, really helpful. For example, here it is. Here's my schedule. Help me make the most of it. AI will help you prioritize what task you can do, block your time, even in your calendar. Put for example, here what you saw was I had actually logged in with um, uh, my Microsoft account, my education account. So if you go over there and say block my calendar for this, it'll actually sort your day and give you multiple options on what time should I do what. So let's say there's a break coming in this break, have do this or have that, and then start working on what you're working on. So what this helps me is it helps me channelize my work and streamline my work in such a way that I'm able to deliver more efficiently and more effective. I have a great question in the chat window. I would love to, respond to that first. The question that has just come in the chat window is, how is Copilot different from ChatGPT? The most beautiful part is both Copilot and ChatGPT are powered by OpenAI's GPT-4 architecture, and you also have an option to try GPT-5. They have a strategic partnership, a global partnership, where Copilot is built on and alongside the GPTs, right? If I were to give you an exact vision of what it entails, just hold on. I'm just trying to get you that as well. So what it does is basically Copilot is a platform that is integrated into all your Microsoft products. For example, you could look at it. When I logged in into my Microsoft account, I could actually see the last files I was working with, and it'll automatically start suggesting me things. Even if I want to access my all my files from there, what is there in my OneDrive, I can easily do that because they are all integrated into Copilot over here. While I'm using ChatGPT, it doesn't have access to my organizational data and none of my emails or my documents or my calendar or my chat. So it does not give me that personalized or that focused response as it will with Copilot. Yeah, though both are the same things built on the same platform, it's only the integration with your Microsoft product tools or the work organization or school settings that you're using. So this is the basic difference. A general purpose chatbot is available via OpenAI, which is your chat GPT. It is great for creative writing, any tutoring, brainstorming, or coding or anything that you want. Can be customized with your memory and custom instructions. But when you're working with Copilot, major main use is that your productivity goes up, your work tasks come first because it is due to the integration of M365 apps. Also, it uses your organizational data, not a general purpose data. For example, if I would not have been in my Copilot and if I were in ChatGPT, I would not get access to my documents to analyze my own documents. So, what I would say is ChatGPT is what is like a general, pool of things that is available. Copilot is very professional, professionally me, very task focused, and it is based on my Microsoft account. Yeah. I hope that answered your question, but that's a great question to ask. Thank you, Tasneem ma'am, for asking that. And please, if you have a question, do ask. It's not my personal preference that I talk about here. It's a general, uh, you know, general why of why should I be using an organizational account. You see, when you're working on these accounts, what happens is you are lending them a lot of information about you. Yeah. So when you're doing that, a general purpose chatbot will be trained on your information and be used publicly. However, in an organization focused account, your data is being used within your organization. It will be trained about you, but within your organization, not outside of your organization. Yeah. All right. Great. Great question. So, please go ahead and ask me more. I would love to pause from time to time. In the interest of time, I'm going to move forward and introduce to you in class support. I've actually already taken this because I had your query with me and I wanted to push in time. So I did do that. Now, apart from what I showed you, that is generating real-time examples of or explanations of how I can, or creating your teaching learning materials, you can also have translate options because you have multilingual learners. Again, directly addressing NEP 2020. You can simply just go to Copilot to say, a student in my class has just shifted from another part, let's say Bihar or let's say Telangana to my class, and is facing a kind of a challenge. Can you make this document bilingual? It is amazing how quickly you can actually have that, or give your student access to immersive reader, which will give them access in both the languages. So AI is actually helping you in various ways, not just Copilot, but also using immersive reader could give you access, or creating quick quizzes or exit tickets, as I showed you, you know, various ways. For example, use AI to generate 5 questions of formative assessment. Very quickly, you can check, sometimes your class is going like started on a high energy, but after some time, the concept was a little abstract and not very relatable by students. So you break into questions, you break into checking, are you really understanding? But then instead of asking questions, we quickly give them scenarios. Like that's one of the things that I usually do. What I would do is I would go to Copilot to say, I'd give my students to say, okay, take 5 minutes, read this paragraph on page number this, or the first three paragraphs, and we'll get into it. And what I would do is I'd go to Copilot to say, this is the content. I want to engage my students and check their understanding. So it's like a diagnostic assessment, or draft a very quick quiz. I would go to QReport for that. I would go to Quiz AI for that. I would go to Kahoot for that, and very quickly draft questions based on that. And if you don't want to use those platforms, simply just put it on Copilot. It'll give you MCQs to respond to. So what I'm doing over here is I'm very quickly asking for diagnostic assessment. And as they have read, I check their understanding. I'll say, okay, let's go. Two tables, group of fours, you're a group. You have to raise your hand to answer, and you cannot answer without that. Now, all of that, I think you're better than me. And when the question pops up, you have to think of the right answer, write it on a paper, and give it to us. That's it. That's it that you need. Yeah. Honesty is the best policy, is what works in my class. And my chat window is filled with questions, and I'm absolutely loving it. Okay. Radhaman says, does it provide images or pictures? Let me answer that by showing you. So over here, I'm going to go back onto my screen where I had Copilot, and you will be able to see Microsoft. I'm sorry. Let me just quickly pull it over here. Yeah, here it is. You said generate an image. Let's say I want to say that I'm talking about a water cycle in my class today, and I want to tell a story about a boy, schoolboy, 6-year old, no, actually, 10-year-old boy on his way to school experienced rain, and on his way back, the puddles had disappeared. Now, this is something that is very common. Okay, this is something that you see every day. I would want to give certain unique examples also, but what I want to tell you is a rainy day adventure with Arav. Now look at that, a beautiful story for you. Now it'll also, you can also create a, can you make a creative for this? Now let's see if it's able to generate a creative or not. It'll use Microsoft Designer is already built in here, so it'll give you an image. If you want to give more description, if I were you, I would give a lot of description for it. But because my story is already descriptive, I think it should be able to give me an image. Also, my next demand would be give me more similar examples of water cycle, unique ones. Now that's my demand, and make scenario cards for my students to analyze. That is where I'm going to engage my students. That's the ability of this. So even if I'm teaching, I give my students a 5-minute work very quickly, even on my mobile phone, even if not, you don't have laptop around you, you could actually just find this and simply just give it to your students to work on. Yeah. So here's an image that is getting created. It'll just take just about a few seconds and it'll be done. Now, as that rolls, let me also take a few more questions. And I can see one hand raised, Riti ma'am. Just give us a few minutes, please. Okay. Gajendra sir says that how we leverage these tools in senior secondary chemistry. Love that. You know, Gajendra sir, I just showcased in a session just about this week, early this week, I showcased about a teacher who was trying to teach periodic table to students, and of course, you can give me any or acids and bases to students, or if you want to give me a more complex topic, please give me that. The crux is I need that topic to be engaging. So I'll tell you what happened that day. That was a beautiful one. I wish I were able to, find that conversation, and I would have actually gone ahead and, showcase to you, share with you, what it is. Anyway, when I'll be pausing for more questions while Dovita will read out those questions to me, I will show you how beautifully that turned out. So we started with, taking an example in chemistry where the students were to be engaged in about knowing about periodic table. We asked Copilot to create riddle cards for students to make. Now you see over here, ma'am, this is to answer your question. This image is already available to you. If you want to edit this, it'll allow you to edit as many changes as you want. If you want to label, not label, whatever you want, your support material is created alongside, and you can simply just download it. And if you want to add another page with more graphics and you want to know, then that's your clue to actually take it. And you can download this. This will get downloaded as JPEG, and you can always use it. Yeah. So this was to answer your question. Now, sir, to answer your question, let me just stop share once again because I think I found that chat somewhere. Hold on. I will just bring back my screen. Here you go. Yeah, here it is. I was giving this demo to somebody the other day, and we said, with grade 8, we are studying periodic table. I want this to be interactive, inquiry led, and gamified, differentiated instructions at 3 levels of foundation, proficient, and advanced. And here you go. I had a complete lesson plan, which was a 5E lesson plan, and it gave me various ways. It included inquiry, it included gamification, it included game and differentiation. All right, all the three pieces and interactive element as well. Not just that, we said now make a 30-minute lesson plan on just how to introduce this. Now it made me a lesson plan to very quickly keep my students engaged, a minute by minute breakdown of how I should actually conduct my class. Help me design these riddles also, which came out in a very interesting manner. And my material prep was already done, my visual aids and everything. Now, after that, I said, make me riddles, element clue cards, and everything to do with periodic table. Look at that. It created me everything and gave me literally in a grid format. I had over here my riddle cards. I had my element clue cards. I had my blank periodic table and I had a PowerPoint. And this PowerPoint is something I would love for you to see because, to my surprise, this was so beautifully done and made that while we were looking at this sample only, we were like, fantastic. This is a great starting point. So I'll show you this. In the interest of time, I'll not keep everybody waiting, but I would love to show this in just about a minute. So it's not just a PowerPoint. Look at that. It is actually a ready to use material. So let's say you within your class time as well. If you feel that there's something that I want to teach my students extra, or I've received a question from my students which I would like to answer, or which I would like to showcase as a PowerPoint, you could actually do this. Yeah. Fantastic. Do let me know if this was helpful. There are many slides now. You see over here, this has already brought your clue cards and everything over here. You can simply just run this and take this to your class literally as is. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put questions, and I love questions. Okay. I have a question here where you say, Bhargav, you've asked, can I generate a simple worksheet based on Indian folk and classical music? Fantastic. So we'll just pick up this question itself and take it to Copilot and ask. As simple as that. So, you know what? Now, this is cultural context. Do remember, always this needs a lot of context when you are using Copilot. While you've already provided that context to me, and I've brought it here in the file you have post, I might want to add more elements to it. I don't know nuances of what exactly are you looking at. Now, you said, can I generate? Instead, I will say generate. Okay. Generate a simple worksheet based on folk or classical music of, let's say, um, okay, you've written Indian classical music. Let's just go with this. Yeah. So let me just try this. As simple as that. Let me be very simple in my ask and ask just this. Now it's analyzing and it'll create a worksheet based on the same. Maybe it's not to your liking because I should have given more details. Possibly I could give, chapter number this, or dance style this, or, folk style this, and classical music style this, or include more details. So if you can make this prompt richer, it can definitely give you very targeted responses. This might be generic. I don't know what's going to come. So I'm going to let it, be there. I'm also going to take the next few questions right away because I'm right there. Okay, Gajendra sir says, oh, esterification reaction mechanism. You're really testing the tool. No problem. Let's just, try this. And you know what? We have to see that, it is intelligent and I should be able to get it. So let's just open this for you. I don't know what it's drafted for me, but it's just given me a few things over here. I'll go with that. I'll share my screen once again to tell you what it has given me. Just give me 1 minute, please. Just a second. Okay, please do, keep sharing. And Nilima ma'am, you said due to heavy rainfall, I've missed the last meeting. So can you share the recording? Is already there, ma'am, on our YouTube link. Dutta ma'am, if you can kindly share the YouTube link over there, please. Thank you. Now I'm going to take you back over here to Edge. Now you can see this is the Indian classical folk music, or folk and Indian classical. I don't know if it suits your requirement, but this is the kind of worksheet that it has drafted. So if you're asking that can it draft worksheet with minimal instructions, yes, this is what it has done. But if you try and be more specific, it will give you more specific responses. Yeah. Now I'm switching back to Copilot and going there to ask about esterification. Can you draft a lesson? Now I put esterification reaction mechanism. It's assuming that this is a 30-minute interactive lesson plan because I have given a threaded instruction, right? It recognizes that this is grade 10 or 11 chemistry. Of course, whatever board it is, it'll start very small, but you can always say, okay, great, fantastic. Now plan for the whole week. Yeah. Not sure if this is fine, sir. I'll let you see if this is a great plan or not. And all you need to do is simply just copy from here, or you can simply just download this as you like it, all right, and take it to your classroom. Okay, any more questions there? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it is a great starting point. Yeah, and you can take it to your class and then see how you. Okay, I have Radha ma'am asking me, does it scan the question paper and find out errors like repetition? Oh, it's a fantastic one. In fact, on my upcoming slides, this is exactly what I was going to do. Radha ma'am, what you can do is you can upload any document that you have and ask it to find out the errors of repetition, grammatical errors, and rectify it. I have a fantastic example of that on my slide, and I will just show you. In the last few days, uh, you'll see these days actually that there are a lot of posts on LinkedIn and other social media which people are sharing, and they share very valuable and informative pieces over there. One of those pieces is what I'm going to talk about now. However, I would want to pause here to give Riti ma'am space to unmute herself and talk. Riti ma'am, I'm just going to give you audio. I'm allowing your mic. You may go ahead, unmute yourself to talk, please.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening.
I'm from Mohali, so I just
Mm-hmm,
want to ask one thing. Like I'm a Hindi teacher.
mm-hmm.
Whatever you are telling, can that will be helpful for Hindi subjects also? I know for not for the
Absolutely.
literature, but I am asking language point of view.
मैम लिटरेचर में भी होगा लैंग्वेज में भी होगा आई हैव टू शो यू दिस टू actually believe because once again I have done a lot of work on this with many schools and our co-founder is actually a Hindi language expert. उन्होंने मैम इतना मटेरियल इसमें किया है ये देखिए not just Hindi, it's also other languages. For example, I was doing a uh, you know, this is wonderful. I was doing a story on, acids here, and we actually made a whole story here. And then, they said, this is for teachers. And then we actually also, brought in an image over here. It made me a mystery. And then we said, draft us in Gujarati language. And it actually did. Now I'm going to share with you over here how this piece can be done in any language possible. So this is like a story. I would say draft the story in Hindi language. ये देखिए मैम, उसने इतने आराम से हिंदी में भी बना दी। कोई भी स्टोरी, कोई भी आप लिटरेचर, लैंग्वेज, कोई भी पीस चाहते हैं, ऑल ऑफ दैट इज पॉसिबल। ऑफ कोर्स हिंदी लैंग्वेज एक्सपर्ट आप हैं, आप इसको वैलिडेट करेंगे, कहीं कोई मात्रा की, कोई लैंग्वेज की गलती होगी, वो आप पकड़ेंगे। लेकिन बेसिकली इट विल गिव यू द एंटायर पीस इन योर प्रेफर्ड लैंग्वेज।
You can create lesson plans also
Of
accordingly.
course, create a lesson plan on nouns in Hindi language. या ये मुझे अलग जगह लेके जाना चाहिए था, लेकिन मैं यहीं पे आपको बना करके दे देती हूँ। ये देखिए।
Lovely, ma'am.
Fantastic. Note that we do host, most welcome, ma'am. I think I'll let Duhita come in here because she's the best person to talk about the sessions that we do on AI. We do host sessions focused on AI in your schools for your school teachers. Duhita, I'll let you talk about that and I'll bring the slide for you to do so. Duhita, you're here? Okay,
Yeah,
looks
sorry,
like,
I was
yeah,
I was on
go ahead.
mute.
Go ahead. No worries. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so we have our K-12 AI Pro school programs out here at three different level stages. You're most welcome to invite us for the same. Uh, the very first one is AI Enthusiast School, which is definitely as a beginner level, we can say a foundational level, wherein you come to know about what all is AI in education and how you can leverage it in a much more effective manner. Right. Moving ahead, we have our proficiency level one, wherein once you have the foundational level done, you know the basics, you are good enough to go ahead, then how do you implement the same? in your teaching practices. So as an educator, as a teacher, in your day-to-day teaching, how do you go ahead and implement it in a practical manner in varied subjects, all the subject lines. Last but not the least, we have the AI Trailblazers School trophy, which is the proficiency level 2, wherein you have the AI powered digital pedagogy, wherein the teachers, they redefine digital pedagogy using AI powered tools and apps. So we have all these three levels. um, you can get to know more about it. I think we have shared it in the chat window, the details as well, but we'll share the details here as well also. Okay?
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Dvita. Really helpful.
Um,
And what is most beautiful is that these are all, there are multiple programs here which you could actually opt for your school. And this is not cast in stone. This is all uh, very pragmatic, and also it's very approachable. So let's say, there is a segment of teachers who are at a certain level. You can always say, let's, design a 2 hour session for them, and then design another 2 hour session for another set of teachers who are at a certain advanced level. So it really depends on how you want it, and you can take it forward. Now, the example that I was talking about. Look at this. This is Dr. Nirmala Krishnan M that I'm quoting. She had put up a post to say that Miss Priya is a middle school English teacher and asked her students to write a 200-word story about a rainy day. Together, the class saw how AI generated content suggested replacing it was raining heavy with it was raining heavily. It helped correct grammatically, so it really helped the students. Suggesting synonyms like drenched instead of very wet. Students laughed, debated which version sounded better, and then revised their own draft. So it's a very interesting way of engaging them. To say that you had written this. This is what AI. If AI were to be engaged, this is what AI would write. What do you think is the difference? And also invoke, then I had commented on her post saying, while you are doing this, a great way to bring this up in your classes, a discussion on whatever AI is saying might be different from what you are saying. But is it a fact? Is it an opinion? Or do you think this is biased? Or do you think it is actually talking like a student, or not quoting somebody, or it's just commenting? So it is upon you how you interpret that data. Interpretation of data and analyzing that data is a great skill that you must give to your students. If you're giving this opportunity to your students, you're actually bringing to light to say, don't just copy from AI, learn from AI, use your own language, put yourself in that piece, and then go ahead and use it. And here the teacher followed this up by saying, if this story sparked an idea, imagine the future of learning you could look like. Yeah, don't just shy away from these conversations in your school. Let AI help you transform education, bring it to the forefront, and say, this is what AI would write. And I know you'll go back to AI, pick up, and then put a few words of your own, and then, write an essay. But do remember, AI can be wrong. Yeah. AI is an assistant that never sleeps, always learns, and helps you grow. That's the kind of, partnership that we are looking at between you and your AI bots. Afternoon reflections, very important for students. Every day, the last 5 or 10 minutes should be spent on reflection. Help students in social emotional learning. Journaling prompts can be created. Enrichment or remediation material can be created using Copilot, and even suggesting certain pieces based on students' work performance. We can always do that. Yeah. Now, educators use AI for researching, reflecting, and staying informed. The future of teaching isn't about working harder. It is about working smarter with AI. I hope today's session has been able to give you a peek, but do remember AI can make mistakes. Please know that, even if you're best of the prompts, AI can make mistakes. Use your expertise and judgment, double check your facts and listed resources. Give Copilot feedback. You were not good with this, you need to be better at this. All of these things really help. Report or anything on everything that is inappropriate or inaccurate. It's extremely important. Yeah. what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here. I think I've answered all the questions. Gajendra sir, there is no redeem code for this session. There is a certificate because codes are available only for sessions that are modules or learning paths, not for every course. Yeah. So there is no redeem code for this. For Prerna ma'am, the link will be available for this recording. I think YouTube channel is what you need to follow. Dvita ma'am has given you the link. And I'll also share the link for today's test. Yeah, like Dvita ma'am mentioned in the beginning, to earn the certificate for today's session, you have to take a test, um, earn about 80% of the marks, and post that, you will have to pay a nominal fee of rupees 200, and the certificate will be awarded to you for taking today's test. Here's the link. I'm giving you this link in your chat window as well so that you can take the test and do the needful. So here's the link to the test in your chat window now, or you can simply just scan this QR code, it'll take you to the test. All the best. Take this test, score 80%, and then earn your certificate. I'm also sharing link to our K-12 portfolio. That is the training portfolio. It's a partial view of what it is, but you will get an idea about what is it that we offer as a part of our training. And you're most welcome to invite us to host a training on your campus. We'll be happy to join you. Apart from that, this is thank you so much for such wonderful words coming in. This was the second Tuesday of September. Third Tuesday of September is on 16th of September, and we will be talking about transform your curricula using AI. So, with AI, we are going to not just help you transform just about small engagements, possibly look at your curricula because CBSE or NEP doesn't define the way your curricula needs to be delivered. That is in our beautiful hands. And it is about us how we shape this further. Yeah. So go ahead, take the test, and do remember your feedback is extremely important. Therefore, please do share your feedback with us. And we'll be happy to meet you next Tuesday and take this learning forward with you. Any questions, if you have, you're most welcome to drop it in the chat window or simply just raise your hand and we'll be happy to open up our chat window so that you can your conversations so that you can actually unmute yourself to say or ask anything. We're going to give you the power to unmute yourself now. We've allowed mics. You can go ahead, unmute yourself to say anything that you would like to. I let this link remain over here, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you for the wonderful comments that are coming in the chat window. Any questions, any queries, happy to be of help. Happy to hear your voice if you'd like to. We've given you all the QR codes and the links in the chat window. Thank you, Dvita. Very helpful. And in case you need any further information, do note that you do have our email ID, education@dpedagogics.com. Don't shy away from asking us about anything. Thank you so much for joining us today and making today's session as wonderful as it could have been. And don't forget to take a test. Thank you so much. Have a very wonderful week ahead. Thank you, Dovita.
Thank you.